Hey, I'm Jay Kumar, the BassBlaster, and this is your Seafoam Top 5 of the Week in Bass Fishing, number 1. I got 5 big winners and winning tips to talk about in this one, starting with the most recent one, Cory Johnston. 2 tickets to paradise might be how Cory was feeling after he won his second Bassmaster Elite of the season. And get this one was on the St. Lawrence River in New York, and the first one this year was on the St. Johns River in Florida. Sounds like Cory's a real good bet for any river with Saint in the name, man.
Saints alive!
You got that right, Chief. The St. Lawrence and Lake Ontario are smallmouth country. And Cory and his brother Chris are on everybody's bingo card to win a smallmouth tournament, especially there.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Chris already won an Elite there, so it's no surprise that Cory won this one, especially after getting close in the past. Now, like many winners there, Cory gambled and ran out into the lake regardless of conditions for less fishing time, but access to bigger fish. Cory's main weapon was the standby drop shot, but he said that those fish had been so beat on, it was really hard to get them to bite it. The first 2 days, he had to just leave the drop shot there, no movement at all to get them to bite. The last 2 days, he had to cast it way by the fish and then drag it up to them and through them, because he said if they saw it fall, they absolutely would not bite it. Now, his bait on that drop shot was the 6th Sense Party Minnow, which he designed in the electric shiner color. Now, if you ever wondered why he drop shotted with a paddle tail bait, I asked him. He said it's simple. For whatever reason, they bite that paddle tail bait on a drop shot better than a pintail or any other kind of tail. There's your first winning tip.
Waited so long. Waited so long.
You didn't wait that long, man. Number 2. The day before his brother Cory won that St. Lawrence River tournament, Cory Johnston beat out classic champ Justin Hamner and a few other hammers or hamners to win the Bassmaster Angler of the Year title, aka the points.
Oh, Canada, for the very first time, you have a progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year, and it belongs to Cory Johnston.
Now, about 5 guys had a shot at that title going into the last event, but at the second to last event on Lake Champlain, Chris finished 2nd, and at this one on the St. Lawrence River, he finished 4th. That sealed the deal. Now, I'm not sure if anybody would want to have a Johnston brother close to them in the points, and the last tournament being their literal backyard, but that's the way the schedule is every year. Now, Chris was the first Canadian ever to win an Elite Series event in 2020 at the St. Lawrence River, and now is the first Canadian to ever win Angler of the Year. Of course, Jeff Gustafson was the first Canadian to win a Bassmaster Classic, and by winning at the St. Lawrence River, Cory Johnston is now the first Canadian to win 2 Elite Series events and 2 in the same season. I believe there's only 4 Canadians in the entire Bassmaster Elite Series field, so that's a heck of a winning percentage by him. Makes me think maybe we need to... Just messing. Now, Canadians are known to be polite.
Trash talk.
No. We are polite. We are Canadians.
But in competition, whether it's hard water or soft water, they are vicious. They're like this, man.
I'm a killer, a stone cold killer.
So take charge, guy.
Take charge, Viking, barbarian, of course, it's me.
You better believe it. Big congrats to him, and here's your tip. To save time figuring out what he saw on his electronic screen and to not hook fish in practice, Chris dropped down an AquaView camera. There you go, man. Number 3. The last 2 Bassmaster Elite Series tournaments were back-to-back, and the one before the St. Lawrence was on Lake Champlain on the New York-Vermont border. Virginia pro Ed Lockran won it, but he wasn't even a dark horse to win because he basically took himself out of the running. What I mean is he was coming off a medical leave, missed a couple tournaments on the Elites, and he's a really good dude, so he was determined to stay out of everybody's way who were fishing for points, for Angler of the Year, to make the Classic, or just to stay on the elites. So that's exactly what he did, and he ended up winning. No one was more surprised than Ed, not that he won, but that he basically tried not to. It sounds
Stone cold crazy.
Now, instead of fishing one of the known smallmouth or largemouth spots on the lake, Ed basically fished mid-lake-ish in an area that he knew no one else would fish. He got a couple good largemouth bites there in practice, so he figured, hey, what the heck? Now, right off the bat, that's a good thing, because typically at Champlain, you do need largemouths in the mix to win, because at Champlain, they don't have gobies yet, and those are the things that make those Great Lakes bass or smallmouths fat. So Ed went out and he got this on day one.
Will not be tolerated.
Then he shot up to second on day two. He was leading on day three, and then he won it all on the final day by 1 ounce.
1 ounce in the right direction.
What kind of crazy strategy is that? Stay away from the winning spots, burn your only spot by day three, and then win by 1 ounce? You amaze me, Ed. Now, his winning baits were a compact jig, a Z-Man jackhammer bladed jig, and a walking topwater, a Spro walking paint, in the only color Ed ever fishes in walking baits, chrome. He did use forward-facing sonar, but only to see the finer details of the structure and cover he was fishing. Now, here's your tip. When he's fishing grass with live scope, he likes the blue palette the best, because he says that's the easiest to see fish moving in and around the grass.
Blue, huh?
Blue's better than black, right?
Number 4.
We won.
Michael Top 10 Neal won the Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour event at the St. Lawrence River, which was 2 weeks before BASS got there. It was the last BPT event of the season, so it was Michael's last chance to close one out before the end of the season, and he got her done. Booyah! Now, he's got the nickname Top 10 Neal for an obvious reason, but it's been a while on the Bass Pro Tour since he was a top 1. He did his damage fishing in the river, mostly drop shotting a homemade bait. Don't see that too often. He wanted to make his own fuzzy dice type bait, so he cut off a piece of Big Bite Bait Sensation Quarantine Craw and threaded 8 skirt strands through it to make this. Why? Well, here's your tip. He said he was having a lot of fish come up and just bite the rear of the bait and not get the hook, or they would follow up and not commit. And when he put that skirt material in that bait, problem solved. They committed. So I guess that's the magic sauce for these fuzzy dice type baits. Either way, you can't argue with a winner, man. Number 5.
Dread it, run from it. Destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
That's Jacob Thanos Wheeler walking up to the fellas at the last Bass Pro Tour event of the season. He was leading the points going into that one with Alton Jones Jr. and Dustin Connell right behind him. But after that speech and 3 good fishing days, it was done. Now, Jacob has been the Bass Pro Tour Angler of the Year before, in fact, twice in 2021 and 2022. And he was second in the points last year. So are you surprised he won it again?
Nah.
Me neither, but it's kind of a huge deal. If my math is right, there's been 6 Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour Angler of the Year titles so far, and this means Jacob has won half of them. You like that? Half of them. Plus a bunch of tournaments. He's not in KVD territory yet, but he seems to be heading that way pretty darn fast. My buddy Tony was like,
Now there's that guy.
I asked Jacob what the biggest thing is in winning Angler of the Year, and he said it's 2 things. Knowing when to cut and run, meaning not sticking with something that's not working or not being afraid to trash your plan, and learning from your mistakes. Now, bait-wise, he said 80% of the fish he weighed this season were on soft plastics that he happened to design. Those are your winning tips, man. Now, hopefully the other Bass Pro Tour guys will be able to stop Jacob before he gets the last Angler of the Year Infinity Stone. That's all I got for you this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Seafoam. Go to BassBlaster.com or .rocks to sign up for the juice-filled, bass-filled, juicy email. See you next week. God bless you.